So trading is a huge aspect of Islands. It always has been, honestly. Ever since the game came out, trading was like so important. In fact, I still remember the days we used to have to trade through like chess. Like we literally didn't have vending machines or this little trading button. Then vending machines came out, and then, you know, everything just kind of went downhill from there. I mean, I'm just kidding. But honestly, seriously, like look at this. Now, like look at, there's exclusive shops. There's like, basically that means limiteds. There's like 10 coin bags. There's all kinds of craziness in Islands thanks to limiteds, and man, it's kind of hard to keep track of what the best items are, right? What are the most valuable and sought after items in the game currently? And in this video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 most sought after and valuable items in the game. But before I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, one thing to note, some items can be like a little sketch on how you have to trade for them, okay? When the devs disable trading for certain items, there are still some ways to get those items, but they can be pretty risky. For example, pet spawn eggs. I don't know if you know what a pet spawn egg is. You can see right here, it says not tradable, right? Pet king spawn egg. That's not tradable, right? But there's still ways to do it. I'm not going to go through how, but there are ways you can still trade for those. And so just be careful when you do try to trade for those and buy them. You can get scammed very easily. So I would recommend not doing any of those types of trades. Just grind for it yourself. Highly recommend grinding for items when you can for yourself. But, you know, the game does have a lot of fun aspects of trading, okay? The other thing to note, the recent update with the butterfly event. I'm gonna be going through some of those items. I do have one of those items we're gonna be going and showing today, but I will tell you, they did make a lot of those non-tradable for a few reasons. And I'm hoping they will make them tradable again, because right now you kind of have to go through this whole like weird co-op thing. I'm not going to go into that either, but some of these items are still tradable, okay? All right, so let's go and get in here and show you all top 10 most valuable items in the game. All right, the first item we're going to be covering today is my trophy. Just kidding. It used to be one of the most valuable items in the game. Dude, this trophy used to be like worth billions. Now it's like, it's slowly coming back. For a while there was only like 2 million because it got duped so hard. I swear, I only gave 100 of these out, and then it got duped like crazy, like thousands. And yeah, now it's kind of not worth anything. But you know, it's coming back. Like I said, it's rising pretty quick. In fact, I would say like 3 months ago, it was worth like 20 million or so. And then it's, now it's like 50 million or so. So, you know, hold on to them. It's going to go back up in value. It's not so great right now though. Okay. I was just joking that it's in this list. It's not in my list. But with number 10, we're going to be showing you something that is not worth a ton yet, honestly, but it is actually highly sought after, and it's going up in value so quick. And that is the pumpkin hammer. This is a limited Halloween item. And you know, it's almost been a year since this thing's come out. Okay. It is pretty cool item too. But what I did notice is after about like 6 months, the price on this thing is just starting to skyrocket. It could be because it's close to the season. Like it's literally like Halloween's just right around the corner. So of course people are going to be like, how do I get this? And they're not going to be able to get it during this Halloween season, unless for some odd reason that the devs bring it back, which I would think that would be pretty dumb to do. But currently this item here is now worth like between 100 million and 120 million as of this video. Like I said, like I would say about 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago even, this item was only worth like 20 million. Okay, that's how fast this is going up, and this is the only reason why I'm including it in this video. It's like I said, you know, it's just highly sought after. So this, you know, this item is probably going to be worth maybe double, I would say, by next month, potentially by next month. That's my guess. I'm not a market predictor, but it's almost Halloween, dude. It's going to be popular again. Next up is another limited item. You could only get this one from gift boxes from the 2021 Christmas. So you remember the gift boxes? I don't know if I have anymore. Yeah, I don't have anymore. But they were the blue ones, and this is the frost sword. It's actually really hard to get these, okay? I just want to mention that it took me about, like, I want to say over 1,000 gift boxes to get one of these. Like, I finally got another one. And so I got, you know, a total of 2 of these, and I don't know where the other one is. It's probably on, like, one of my alt accounts. But this is a pretty cool sword. It also has, like, a little bit of a spell effect. It slows players. Not players. It slows mobs. I don't know why I said players. Maybe eventually it'll slow players. But no, it currently slows mobs. This sword right now is worth about anywhere between 150 million and 275 million. The value is going up really fast. Okay, this thing was only worth like 35 million, I would say, like 2 to 3 months ago. I couldn't, like, I was trying so hard to like sell these for 35 million. Now they're worth between, like I said, 150 to 275 million. It's insane. So these things are, you know, flying up because it's almost like, you know, it's almost the end of the year. It's almost been a year for these items. Next up we have similar item. It came came with the same gift box, which was the Christmas gift box present, and that is the Frost Hammer here. This is just like the Frost Sword. It came in the same box or same, source, and it is a limited item. It is worth more than the sword. Oddly enough, I don't really know why it's worth more than the sword, but I think I have like 2 of these, and this thing is worth 150 million to 300 million, so pretty much the same price in my opinion. Similarly, it was only worth like maybe 20 to 30 million like about 4 months ago, and similar issue, I couldn't sell them, and on top of that, it's on its way to be like 10 times. I think it's going to be 10 times what it was 6 months ago. So keep an eye on this one. This one's, like I said, these 3, they may not be the most valuable items currently in the game, but they are the fastest appreciating in value items in the game, and I think it's just going to keep going up from here. Next with number 7 is the Fishing Festival trophy for 2022, and it's the blue one here. And this event just happened not too long ago. Again, it is the 2022 trophy, so the value is not too much right now, but it's actually pretty high considering. And of course, the value is continuing to go up, okay? So it's not going down from here. In fact, I think there are more fish trophies from duping. This one over here, which we'll get to in a moment. There were more of these than these, oddly enough. But I did hear that there were like hackers duping these. I don't know. So that could have, affected the value a bit. But currently, these are worth between 350 and 540 million coins. Again, that's 350 to 540 million. That's pretty big range, honestly. It's a big, broad range. I think for the most part, this is probably worth more like 600 million. That would be my take on it, just because of the fact that it is such a cool item. And I don't think it's going down from here. I think it's cooler looking than the original, too. So we'll see if that's going to continue to go up and compete with the original, older brother to this one. It's really cool, man. I love the glow, though. The blue just looks so cool. Man, we need a red trophy. We need a red DV trophy. All right. Next up with number 6 is the Captain's Rapier. This is not a limited item. It's really wild that this is even on this list. It's just a really hard item to get, okay? And it's highly sought after because of the fact that it has luck. Like, seriously, this item is not even a limited. I didn't think it would continue to go up in value. I do suspect that there's a lot of people just collecting these because they look so cool. They kind of look like, like lightsabers, and they're kind of hard to get, but it's not even a limited item. It's just a pirate. It's a pirate item. So if you want one, just keep, grinding pirate eggs, I guess. But yeah, this thing is now worth anywhere between 350 million and 600 million. So pretty much it's almost like a 1-to-1 trade currently with the fish trophy. My opinion, I would rather collect these trophies than these. This isn't going to go up as fast as this. Same with these. I'd rather have any of these than a Captain's Rapier. That's just me, because I know these are going to go up in value. They're pretty cool too. Next up with number 5 is the Tidal Aquarium here. This one is currently worth the same as a Captain's Rapier. It's anywhere between 350 to 600 million. It was pretty easy to get, honestly. It was a part of the original fishing trophy or fishing festival event in 2021. So last year, it was pretty easy to get, like I said. It wasn't like super easy, but it was fairly easy. And this one's gone up, it's a pretty nice size. Dude, look at the size of this trophy. This aquarium is really cool. But it is, like I said, it's the same value as the Captain's Rapier, currently anywhere between 350 and 600 million. And it's just going to continue to go up from here unless it gets duped or anything like that. Then obviously anything that gets duped is going to tank in value. But yeah, this is a really cool item. I love all the different fish inside too. It's basically like having a bunch of fish trophies inside. Next up with number 4 is a weapon that is quickly tanking in value, which is really weird considering it's kind of hard to, make these compared to the Captain's Rapier. There's so many Captain's Rapiers compared to these scepters. I think part of it is like a little bit of demand and the function of this, but in my opinion, this looks better than the Captain's Rapier, but it is a pretty hard scepter to get. It's not as powerful as it once was, especially after this nerf, but the Queen Scepter is currently worth anywhere between 400 million and 600 million. And like I said, it's just not, it's not that good. The other thing I would say about this is I'm not a fan of like the kind of like the gumball, kind of effect. It looks like a bubble, like it kind of looks like bubble gum, doesn't it? It kind of looks like bubble gum. Anyway, it's just, it's an interesting weapon. I wouldn't say, it's really cool looking. Like, the visuals of this weapon are insane, but I feel like the effects of it and the function and all that's just not that great, okay? Especially for being kind of like the #1 magic weapon technically in the game. It's just not all that impressive. So I think that might be why it's kind of up here, not as high as it could be. The other thing is, like I said, it's not limited, and if anything, it's going to continue to go down from here. This is probably going to be worth less than the Captain's Rapier soon, because at least the Captain's Rapier is going to give you some extra luck for like grinding eggs and tokens and things like that, because you get extra tokens with this. And I think because it has so much functionality and value, this right here is probably going to swap places eventually. That's just my guess. Next up with number 3 is an item that's no longer tradable unless you know how to trade for it. This item was tradable for a little while, then they pulled it. At least that's what I've been told. And man, this is such a cool item. Like if you didn't get a butterfly trophy, that's a big shame. Now, you know, there's a lot of complaints around the fact that this is not tradable. I understand why it's not tradable. I think part of it is the devs really want people to earn these items. And, you know, but there's a whole like flip side of earning and just being able to buy stuff. And when you're making these types of things, it's really tough. You know, like it makes sense from a development standpoint to want to have non-tradable items. But there's also an aspect of it that there's a historical record of us trading for these items. You know, like you kind of expect it now because it's just historically it's been done that way for so long. And to change it now would probably create a lot of complaints, and that's kind of what's going on inside the seller community. A lot of sellers are upset that they can't trade for these items because it doesn't really give them anything new for players to visit them, which is their game, right? That's the game that they play, is kind of store management and trading. That's the game. That's what they play. They don't play the building version of Islands. They don't play a lot of the grinding aspects of Islands. Their game is literally a market, supply and demand. And when there's no new items to, you know, put in their shops, it's kind of boring and they kind of lose money. So I get everyone's perspectives on this stuff. I'm just kind of surprised that you can't just buy this now. So I think it makes sense to make certain like weapons not tradable, eggs not tradable, certain like unique items not tradable. But trophies, we've always made those tradable. So except for like maybe the winter trophy, which we're not even covering here. And in fact, I'm not even covering like the test tree. There's like some test items in the game we're not even going to include in this list because they're so hard to get and so random that they're not common items that you're going to be trading for, okay? So yeah, and obviously next we're going to talk about the like 2021 fishing trophy. This is a really sought after item. Hard to get. Most players are trading. What I'm seeing is they're usually trading large melon crates for them. And what I saw is a lot of players are wanting like anywhere between 39 to 41 LMCs, which based on my math, you're looking at it like just a little over $1 billion for that. And especially if they use tuna roll, they're going to obviously get a lot more out of that. But this, you know, I'm seeing people like offering like 1.2 billion for these, which is pretty crazy. Some people are, you know, requiring like 1.5 billion for them. I think that's overpriced, but that's kind of, you know, it is a highly sought after item because of this. People just want to have like, they want to have a complete collection. And again, that's kind of what I'm trying to say about this trophy thing is when you have trophies like this, you kind of have to make sure that they're tradable unless they're like super, super rare. Like if they're created specifically to not be tradable, like it kind of makes sense for this one to not be tradable, but it's kind of, cause it was only for like events that were like contests and such. But you know, something like this that you can never get again. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm really curious about the community's feedback on this. I'm kind of torn because I do get why the devs want to do this. So I'm kind of torn about it. Let me know what you think on that one. So finally, this one took a little bit of like, man, I had a message and try to find someone with this. And thank you to Fuzzy Bubs for helping me find this. But Cherry Blossom hooked it up. Let me borrow this. And this is one of the most valuable and sought after items in the game currently, ranging between 2 billion and 20 billion coins. This is like, people can't find this thing and they really want it. And this is the pink rabbit. That's right. Look it's the pink rabbit. I'm not going to let it loose, but there it is. I'll put it next to the scepter. But this is actually a pink rabbit. I'm just going to hover over it so you know it's really a pink rabbit. I'm moving it. Okay, you see it. There's no Photoshop here. But yeah, this is the pink rabbit. Like I said, one of the most valuable items in the game. Thank you to Cherry Blossom for letting me borrow this rabbit specifically for this video. Here's a screenshot of me with her when she was really worried. I could tell she was a little nervous. Let me borrow this pink rabbit. Pink rabbits are really, really rare, by the way. I suspect that they never spawn. They just never do. Or that most people just stop looking for them because of the fact that there's so many brown and white rabbits on islands. Like, how do you really get these? It's got to be super, 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 super rare, okay? Like, literally, I remember when the rabbits first came out and someone said that they got a pink rabbit, I was just laughing. I was like, nah, I don't think so. So, yeah, I mean, she was buying these for, like, I think over 1 billion. I don't think anyone's going to sell them for 1 billion. I think you're looking for probably minimum of 2 billion. And that's going to be kind of a hard transfer. You got to do a little bit of trust trade there because, or go like LMCs, like, you know, large melon crates. And that's why a lot of players do go through large melon crates is they don't have the limitations of coins that way. So like, you know, if you're going to trade like 40,000 large melon crates, which equates to, you know, about 1 billion coins, actually more than that, that's probably the best way to trade sometimes. It just kind of messes with the economy a bit, but it's still a good way to trade. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the list of items. Like I said, there are some, honorable mentions here that I want to mention. One is technically not, no longer tradable, and that is the golden net. And that item would have been anywhere between 600 and 670 million coins. Worth a lot. Okay, that's a lot of coins. It's technically worth more than this thing, just because it was so hard to get. Even though it's kind of worthless and useless, it's worth more than the butterfly trophy. So just an honorable mention there. Like I said, I didn't mention the tree 2. Tree 2 is worth over, I think it's probably worth anywhere between 10 to 20, maybe 30 billion, because it's definitely more rare, I think, than the pink rabbit. Didn't want to mention anything with the void serpent pet spawn eggs or any of like the other eggs, because like I said, they're pretty it's pretty easy to get scammed on those. There's also some like other glitched items that are super rare that you don't even see on the price guide that I'm not going to be mentioning much of, other than that there's a really cool like flower that's kind of fertile that, I don't even know what the name of it was. I think it was just fertile flower, and it didn't have like any colors or something. It was pretty crazy, but it's super rare. Can't really find it anywhere. I think only one person has it or something. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in the game, by the way. There's like test trees. There's all kinds of stuff out there, including like this weird shovel that was given to, I don't know. I probably shouldn't even say anything about it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's a particular item you think deserves to be in this top 10. Curious. I'm always down for seeing your opinions. Just keep it civil, would you? Just keep it civil. Don't start yelling at me. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next vid. Peace.